College and the Hurricanes of Miami as the fans have gathered. Almost 8,000 expected this afternoon in Conti Forum. Here are the starting lineups. But maybe, Bucky, you talk about a guy who's not in the starting lineup and won't be here today. That's Andrew Bryant of Boston College, who really shortens their bench.
Well, it does. They were playing with a 7-person rotation. It's down to 6. And sadly, Andrew lost his mother, and he's back in Denison, Texas, attending the funeral. He was aware of his mother's death on Tuesday and came out with an incredible 15-point performance at Providence to help the Eagles get by on Wednesday, but he will not be here today. And our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences to Andrew and his family.
There is Al Skinner in his 6th year. A couple of NCAA teams, including last year. You see his overall record at 90 and 82. Perry Clark, after some great years at Tulane, now working the bench for the Hurricanes of Miami. And Troy Bell was honored. This is the first game for him, of course. He did set the record on the road, so he came home to accept the ball from his coach as the all-time leading scorer in school history. And that is quite a feat, Bucky.
Al Skinner, in his own humble, quiet way, gave it up. Got out of the way.
He surpassed the record of Dana Barros with Billy Curley. Kanye Abrams not far behind. There's Perry Clark. We mentioned him. He's now in his 3rd season here. He's taken his team to postseason twice, 1 NCAA, 1 NIT.
Little known fact about Perry Clark. Mike Bray, the coach at Notre Dame, played on the DeMatha High School team where Perry Clark was the assistant coach. Small world category.
It is. Jim Burr's our referee. Jim Luchansky and Carl Hess are the umpires. We're set for basketball. One of the changes, and there are 2 newcomers in this Miami lineup, and we're talking about Hamilton and Wilkins, who just started the last game. One reason to give them more defense. We'll see how that works out, and maybe also, Bucky, take some pressure defensively off James Jones.
Well, they still miss John Solomons. I know it's February, but the whole offense went through him last year, and they haven't really replaced him.
The Eagles won both meetings last year and have won 4 in a row. Good dump down that time to Sidney, who bangs it home.
Soft pressure now by the Eagles. I think it's just trying to force Darius Rice out a little bit further.
And they get it inside, but a miss by the freshman Hamilton. Scramble for the loose ball. Hamilton gets it back. Sets up Jones in the corner. They get it back on top.
Hamilton only averaging 16 minutes a game coming into the starting assignment. The purpose of it was to get Darius Rice back to the 3 spot and James Jones back to the 4. We'll see how it works out.
Here's Wilkins from outside, all alone. Can't miss that one. The easy lay-in by Gary Hamilton. He is a freshman from Los Angeles. We have our first tie, and we have played 1 minute at Conti Forum, where the BC hockey team squeaked out a win last night. They put down the court, and we're playing basketball. Outside it's cold, but at least no new snow in Boston. We've got a foul underneath.
My room is right on the Charles River, and I can't see it because there's a foot of ice on top of it. Amazingly, Boston College has been very, very faithful in this series with the Hurricanes. They give them problems, but then they give a lot of people problems.
Sidney inside. Oh! And that one is rejected as the outstanding freshman. Certainly Carmelo Anthony and Craig Smith are the leading candidates for the Rookie of the Year in the Big East Conference, and they have both had outstanding freshman seasons.
He kind of hit the wall in the last 2 games. And I spoke to him before the game. He said, well, I'm just trying a little hard. You got to remember, as good as he is, as mature as he is, psychologically, he's just a freshman going through his 2nd time around in the league. Of course, this is the first game against Miami. They will return to Miami later in the year.
In it with a terrific drive and a scoop on the score. He took a real shot. He's a little slow to get up, but Luis Hinnant with a great drive to put the Eagles back on top.
Well, we mentioned the Eagles went from a 7-man rotation to 6. They can ill afford an injury right now.
They'll reset now. They get it back to Michael Simmons. He's a 5th-year senior. Rice has got another year. He's a junior. Jones with a fadeaway jumper. The senior rattles it home.
Boy, and he had his tonsils checked, too. Greg Smith was right up and on him. Tough shot.
And his coach said he was the team's best player in December, but for the last 6 weeks, that has been Darius Rice. And certainly some great dramatic victories. Easy steal that time for James Jones.
Don't throw the long pass short.
Rice tried to carry it all the way inside. But the foul is going to go against in it. That'll be his first. The game is tied at 4, 17:27 left to play. We're just underway. Glad you could join us. And when we do start talking about some scores, there were more surprises. But the home teams have prevailed, at least in the early Big East games today.
Well, interesting in this topsy-turvy year, John, that Villanova was the last Big East team to be undefeated at home. And, of course, they lost that a while back to St. John's, but they prevailed today.
Yes, they did. They defeated Connecticut. Pittsburgh was a loser on the road. Syracuse won at home, beating Notre Dame. Well, you just can't take anything for granted.
Well, this stretch for Boston College, they won 4 out of 5, and 4 of those 5 were on the road.
High speed that time, but a follow shot goes by Rice, who it's a good thing he trailed the play because the dunk attempt by Hamilton was partially blocked.
Oh, John, you always follow up behind those rookies. You never know what they're going to do. Hamilton's playing a very assertive for a freshman.
Bell hangs, can't hit, but he'll go to the line. And the task of trying to slow him down belongs to Michael Simmons.
Many times Bell has gone to the line attempting a three-point shot.
He's trying to do something that has not been done in a long time. He is trying to become the first Big East player since Chris Mullin to average 20 points a game 4 years in a row. And that would be quite a feat. He's very good from that stripe. 86% this year. Rarely misses.
Only one way to play him. Don't let him shoot the 3. Make him put it on the floor, and don't let him finish. And other than that, it's easier said than done.
And if you got 2 or 3 guys you can use, yeah.
We need that 6-man team, that 2-2-2 zone, or the 3-3. I don't think either one of those would be effective against Troy Bell. And to think that right there in Minneapolis, his hometown university, the Gophers, he pleaded with them, and they said no.
And look what they missed out on.
Yep, and that's BC's fine.
Averaging almost 25 a game. Half of the Hurricanes' points now, as their lead is down to 1, have come off the BC turnovers.
Soft pressure down the floor by the Eagles, dropping back into a man-for-man.
This is Surratt, who's quickly off the bench and into the lineup.
Ryan Sidney trying to do the job on Darius Rice, and that's a day's work.
3 is a little bit short. Here comes Bell the other way, and a chance for the Eagles to go back on top. Remember, they scored the first 2 points of the ball game. Miami went on a bit of a run. Bell for 3. Banks it in, and it counts. Wow.
Well, he's warming up. He just had 3 free throws. Now he hits a 3 and gets another one. I like the way he counts. Oh, and there's a little divot. There's a little divot in that glass in the square. But he's so smart. Once he knew he got hit, he made sure that it wasn't going to be short, which is often the problem when you're fouled.
He's never short from that spot. The last 7 points have been scored by Troy Bell. Jones gets it down low, and little jump hook goes. It's his 2nd field goal.
He's a good one. Right now, Miami is a 2-option offense with Darius Rice and James Jones. What Perry Clark is searching for desperately is that 3rd scoring option, which they have not been able to find.
Well, the offensive foul of the illegal screen set by the freshman Craig Smith picks up his first foul, and it's turnover number 3. And then the Sidney races inside, goes to the left hand and scores. Ryan Sidney with his 2nd field goal. And just like that, it's the Eagles on top by 3.
Boston College, at first that press was soft, but now they're really coming after him. It's like a frenzy feeding. Once they get a little blood, man, they went right after it.
Dornicamp with the block was out of bounds. 13-10 the Eagles with the great shooting by Bell and the terrific drive by Sidney. Boston College has regained the lead. We'll be back with more after this.
During Dodge Power Days, get the best values in America. Take our best products like Dodge Ram Heavy Duty, the 250 horsepower Intrepid SXT, the best-selling minivan ever, and the V8-powered Durango. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. plus our best deals, like up to a $4,500 cash allowance or 0% financing on most models. Add it all up, and it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
You need to floss more.
You're not flossing enough.
Your dentist was right, you know, because flossing was the best way to prevent tooth decay, gum disease, and bad breath. Until now. Hi, I'm Steve Kettle, and this is Dr. Milner's Sonic Clean Between machine. It's easier, faster, and better than old-fashioned flossing. It gets between your teeth and really cleans them.
Good job.
Much better.
The Sonic Clean Between machine comes complete with 8 interdental brush tips, and it's yours for only $19.95. Call now, and we'll also send you the Sonic toothbrush attachment, this gum stimulator, a Sonic tongue cleaner, and a convenient organizer absolutely free.
We'll even give you Dr. Milner's Minute Wax system. The difference will amaze you. You'll get everything for only $19.95, so order yours now.
Call 1-800-631-9560. That's 1-800-631-9560. So call 1-800-631-9560 and order today.
A 9-2 run has pushed the Eagles to a 13-10 lead at home over Miami with 15:38 to go. Along with Bucky Waters, I'm John Sanders. It is there is Yuka Agba. He's been out since December the 1st, so we won't see him on a court again until next year.
Boy, he had a game in here last year against the Hurricanes. 13 points, 11 boards, and that's basically what he did. Almost a double-double, right around it every game. A real tough guy inside, a blue-collar guy, and just imagining what this BC team, if they still had him. But they will have him next year for a whole season.
He will graduate in May and come back and do his graduate work and play that 5th year or 4th year in 5 next year. Down the lane, Wilkins has it blocked. Another block, but a foul call. And it'll be a 2-shot foul.
Craig Smith rejecting Gary Hamilton. According to the press, Gary Hamilton and Craig Smith had played against each other in high school. I questioned Craig Smith about that. He said, I don't remember. And
does that mean he didn't get the best of the matchup, or
well,
what?
I don't know, but he got the best of that one. Gary Hamilton went in there with some soft stuff, and the California guys collided. Chalked that one up for Smith. Excuse me.
1 out of 2 at the line. 3 points for Hamilton, who's not a very good foul shooter. Cuts the lead to 2, 13-11. Miami 4 of 9. 1 turnover so far by the Canes. BC 4 of 5. But they've turned it over 3 times, and that's one of the reasons for the difference in the score. The very slight edge to the Eagles. Miami staying in it. Bell with a 3, and that's his second. So Troy Bell already in double figures with 10.
Perry Clark changing his defense, showing a 2-3 matchup that time, but that certainly doesn't put fear in the eyes of Troy Bell.
He's 2 of 2 in 3-pointers, 4 of 4 overall.
I kind of like Boston. I think they played better against a man. I mean, they've obviously been successful against the zones with their perimeter game, and Troy Bell, of course, but I just like their rhythm against the man.
Rice passes on the 3, and Bell takes it away from him. He will streak down and lay it home. A dozen for Troy Bell.
And BC quickly after the make, going back to pressure.
And now that run goes to 14-2. And it goes for the steal. Didn't get the call.
Just for this sequence right here, John, the hands and the quickness of Boston College kind of looks like a St. John's team, you know, with that harassing quickness, ugly kind of defense that comes up with a lot of steals.
That's going to go against Rice. Sidney was right in his back pocket. 2 officials made the call.
You're kind. Back pocket. He was right in his face. That's Ryan Sidney's specialty. This is not your normal college player. TKO, no count. Rice says maybe that'll slow you down. Don't bet on it, there is.
7-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest of the first half. We still have 14 minutes to play. These 2 teams will meet again on March 1st. Dornekamp has it stripped away. And then quickly turning it back over the other way.
Oh, the hands.
Was Eric Wilkins.
Great hands.
Watson on the court handles the basketball. Jermaine, a sophomore from Dorchester. It's going to be an offensive foul on Smith. That'll be his 2nd foul.
Take a little time in there, young fella. Find the defense. With experience, he will learn that. He's kind of made up his mind where he was going to go. He saw James Jones coming down to double down on him from the corner. Got a little quick. So a thin Boston College team gets thinner.
Now Surratt checks back into the lineup for Miami. Height, who had been a starter. Surratt and Robert Height had been doing the starting. They're both freshmen. And two other freshmen come on to take their spot. It's one of the other things, Bucky, about this entire league. You look at every team with the exception of Pittsburgh, and there are freshmen all over the place.
Sophomore Jermaine Watson coming in to replace Craig Smith. That makes Boston College really small. Barry Clark trying to figure out right now how to take advantage of it. The obvious is go down inside with Jones and Rice against this very, very small Eagle team. First, they got to figure out a way to stop them.
Bennett gets it down inside. Sidney looks for somebody and draws a crowd of 4, turns it over. That is turnover number 6 by BC. Miami's turned it over 5 times. Rice with a fadeaway along the baseline. Nothing there. Racing back the other way, Watson. Another 3. This one off the mark by Troy Bell. Miami gets it back with 12:45 to play, trailing by 7. And Miami had been a very successful team on the road. One of the best in the conference as Jones gets inside and finishes off with his 3rd field goal.
Oh, that's got to make Al Skinner unhappy. Put that ball down on the floor at the top of the key and lay it up without anybody reaching in there to interfere even a little bit.
But that road success that I mentioned has changed, Bucky, because they're 0-4 in conference play on the road this year after having the best record in the league on the road. 3-pointer. Kicks high off the shot clock, out of bounds. It'll be Miami basketball.
Yeah, they've lost a lot of close ones, though, John. In fact, there's Perry there. We're looking at 2 teams who have played more 5-point or less or overtime games than any other 2 in the Big East. BC is 3-5. Miami is 3-8. Ouch.
Wilkins gets it inside and will go to the line to complete a 3-point play, or attempt to complete the 3-point play after the foul. The basket is good.
Good penetration. My observation is Miami's a better passing team than they are a dribbling team, and they demonstrated that trying to dribble through some double picks. I mean, some double teams coming up against that pressure earlier in the game. They do pass the ball crisply, especially when they're finding Darius Rice.
A good free throw shooter, completes the 3-point play and cuts the lead down to 2. Stay with us.
This Minnesota weather has really warmed him up, and he has been just on fire, and every one has been contested. He's had to lean, just kind of snuggle a little bit, whatever. It's not a question of no defense for Miami. This guy's that good.
He's only missed 1 shot so far from the field, made all 4 of his free throw attempts. Rice, good recognition, went for the steal. But the Eagles get it back as Sidney will handle. Now Bell quickly with another 3, and that's right on the money. That's his 3rd. He's already got 15 points, and so far they haven't had the answer for Troy Bell.
Well, they don't have Craig Smith to worry about inside. I'm sure Al Skinner's been concerned about scoring without his #1 post presence, but Troy Bell's taking care of that so far.
Gliding in as Jones banks it off the glass and home. So a good start for James. He's got 8 points.
Well, Hamilton's out of the game, and I don't want to say they're small, but they're going with another guard, and they've got Jones back in the 5 spot, Darius Rice in the 4. And they're still in that matchup.
Watson will shoot a 3. Comes up short, tipped up, no good. Tipped back out and speared by Rice.
Miami has really basically... Nice move.
Surratt just missed the shot, though, and Dornicamp has the rebound.
They've basically gotten through that onslaught by BC. They were close to being run right back to Logan Airport, but they've held on now, and they got things neutralized a bit. And I'm looking for a surge now from Miami.
They're down by just 3. And it would appear that Smith is going to check back in for Boston College as Al Skinner goes to his bench. Watson now, shot clock at 10. 10 and a half to go. Bell with it. Watson Shot clock at 5. Penetrates. Scoops. Bending in. Wow, what a move that time by Jermaine Watson. They'll need some minutes from him with Andrew Bryant not here.
He's a slasher, as demonstrated.
Here's Jones. Gives it up on the wing. The left-hand stroke goes for 3 that time by Robert Height. Been starting much of this season, but playing off the bench the last 2 games. Now makes it a 2-point game.
He had a nice 11 in that 20-point win over Virginia Tech in Miami the last time out. Just a freshman getting confidence.
Watson drives. That's blocked. Out of bounds. And it's going to stay at this end. So some changes as Johnny Jackson checks in. One of the guys we expected to see. Smith also returns.
Both coaches now really going to their bench.
It's Njai who checks in. Ismail Njai checking in.
Better known for his defense than offense. Surratt's taking on, in the man for man, is taking on Troy Bell. This could be an education for the rookie.
Bell with it. Gets it back. Smith will shoot a 3 and rattle it home. That's just his 3rd 3-pointer of the year, but he just perched himself out there and waited for the pass.
He's not shy, and I think he's a little bit concerned the way he likes to go for the hoop about picking up that 3rd foul on an offensive move.
The Eagles now 4 of 7 shooting 3-pointers. Back with the basketball is Hamilton, who was a starter, then went to the bench for a while. Here's Surratt. Off the screen by Hamilton. Looked to give it back to him, and they skip it outside. Quick move by Height. Puts up the jumper. Bending off. Hamilton with an offensive rebound, but he couldn't control it. Now Bell, as Height is there to take it away.
Wow, what an athletic play by Height.
Surratt. And Hamilton just gave it right back to him. Hinnant will wait for Smith.
Lewis Hinnant, the freshman, showing poise, and he waited for the bus. Greg Smith rolling along like Jerome Bettis. Took the feed and buried it.
Matching their biggest lead of the half. And Boston College is shooting 67% so far in this game. That shooting has been able to overcome the turnovers. Njai with it. There's the shooting percentage. You got a glimpse at it, and you can't complain about Miami at 50%.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They're on the road shooting 50, and they've run into an awesome display. But again, Miami able to put the ball on the floor from the 3-point line and get to the rim. That's got to concern Coach Al Skinner.
Here's Bell, another 3. This one's too strong, but Sidney is there to save it. And does.
Surratt doing a nice job in the short term trying to defend Troy Bell. Nice job.
But Sidney was able to save that possession for the Eagles. It's 28-21. The freshman Smith on the good feed with the jam. In college, the Eagles are shooting it very well, but they've also turned it over enough to keep Miami around.
Well, Perry Clark teams have been tough on the road since 98-99. They were #1 in the league with 60% on the road, followed by Connecticut. They have resiliency, and they're looking for that 3rd option. One of the guys that really, well, Marcus Barnes was a #2 guard last year, and Perry Clark dismissed him. In fact, he's right up here sitting out the year for Northeastern, but he had 16 against BC last year. A terrific scoring guard, and they're still trying to replace him. But I respect Perry Clark for what he did in the program's interest and probably the kids' interest.
Height has a rebound. Let's see if he drew the foul from Jackson. And that'll be #1 on Johnny. You know, Perry said he hated to do that because of the importance of Marcus Barnes, but he said, in truth, he said, I think I did the best thing for him.
We needed a wake-up call. Perry Clark's a pretty amazing guy. Assistant coach to Bobby Cremins at Georgia Tech, head coach at Tulane, and as we mentioned earlier, he is all the way back to Morgan Wooten at DeMatha. So he's been around good ones, good man.
Jones inside, but it won't go. Jackson with a rebound.
It's not like Miami's not getting looks. They're getting in close to the rim and getting good looks.
Now Watson wants to clear Hinnon away and reset in half court as Smith comes outside. He's picked up now by Baruman, who's on the court for the first time. Rafael Baruman.
Where's the offense going to come from with Troy Bell on the bench?
Knocked away by Baruman. And ahead of the pack is Height. Wow. Cut up there, didn't he?
Yeah, the lefty he's a terrific athlete. They have high hopes for him. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio, just a freshman.
For Miami, almost half their points have been fast break points, and that speaks to the turnovers by Boston College. There's another.
I think Troy Bell's rest is a cameo.
And he's going to come back at the next dead ball. 9 turnovers already by Boston College, and that is one reason that the Hurricanes are still in this game.
Both these teams have been eager to share the ball. Early it was Miami. Recently it's been BC.
There's the turnover difference. Rice for 3. That's short. Baruman keeps it alive. And then tried to go to Rice. He got a break because that was headed for about the 8th row, and it was deflected by.
Rice wasn't sure whether he wanted to put his hand up or not. He didn't have a mitt on.
He might have been broken. What's this pass? Zip.
Damn. Whoa. The Rocket would have enjoyed the old Boston pitcher. Roger Clemens would have taken pride in that one.
Wilkins checks back in for Miami. Dornkamp will give Sidney a blow for Boston College. What a good job off the bench by Robert Height.
Number 11, Eric Wilkins is back into the Miami lineup.
Harry Clark has gone deep into his bench.
This is Wilkins with it. Inside the 6-minute mark, time remaining first half here at Conte Forum on the campus of Boston College. Both teams went to the NCAA, and both teams lost in the first round last year. Miami fell to Missouri, and BC lost to Texas. The Eagles will have it with 5:39 to play from Chestnut Hill. Glad you could join us on this chilly late Saturday afternoon, mid-February. Along with Bucky Waters, I'm John Sanders, and our entire ESPN Plus crew. Happy to have you aboard here in Boston at the heights of Chestnut Hill.
The master of understatement. Chilly. It's 5, John.
How about Smith's shot there? Off the glass, scoring. He now has 7 points.
They're just a different team when Troy Bell's on the floor. He attracts attention, and that creates for everybody.
And the turnover by Miami is that time Dornkamp came up with it. Canes now have turned it over 8 times, down by 7. Smith again using that big wide body to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, I could just hear the oxygen go out of that BC bench when he does it, though, because with that wide body is a very high propensity to charge. And he's coming out.
He must sit down with 3 fouls. Los Angeles native goes to the bench with 3 fouls.
Again, freshman mentality. Got to be a little smarter than that.
In it inside, and he uses the glass to score his 2nd field goal.
He hit that same divot in the square that Troy Bell hit with that 3-pointer earlier.
There's a little mark up there that only they can see. And the foul was not on Smith, obviously, or they would have maintained possession. So we'll double check. So it's still 2 fouls on Smith, but he does leave.
Yeah, I didn't realize the foul was on him. I just thought Al was just getting nervous about him picking up that 3rd one with the offense. Good looking shot.
An excellent effort that time by Wilkins. He's got 5.
Coming off a career best 13 in that 20-point win over Virginia Tech. Down in the Convocation Center in Coral Gables.
Foul's going to go the other way. The blocking foul called on Ryan Sidney. So he will pick up, and just to make sure you understand that that's just 2 fouls on Craig Smith, not 3. It is also 2 fouls on Ryan Sidney. 4 minutes remaining in the half. 32-25 at Miami. Trying to dig into what had been a 9-point lead for Boston College, their biggest of the half.
Straight man now for BC, and a complete mismatch. Hinnant at 6'4", trying to guard Darius Rice. Rice should be posting him up.
A lot of offense from Eric Wilkins, the freshman, getting just his second straight start. Cuts the lead back to 5. So 4 unanswered so far for Miami.
Great man also for the Hurricanes. This is the way Perry Clark likes to play. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to do it. Lots of zone this year.
Well, as he was telling us, if you're not getting the job done that way, you've got to do something else or you're not going to win.
It's not the way you prefer to play. It's what can you do to win?
Yeah, Miami's still shooting 50%, but the Eagles still over 60%. And you talk about a three-pointer, you might get 3.5 or 4. He's got 18 points in the first half, 4 three-pointers.
Darius Rice had 43 against Connecticut. We may be looking at one of those days for Bell.
Oh, nice tip in that time by Gary Hamilton, who's got 5 early points.
6'9", 240 from the left coast.
The Eagles are 5 of 9 already, Bucky, in shooting three-pointers so far this afternoon.
And they only have a 6-point lead. Perry Clark will take that to the locker room if they can just stay in the area code here.
Well, when you're shooting around 65% and the other team's hanging with you. Good backdoor look. No basket. The foul, I'm sure, is going to go on Gary Hamilton from behind and put Nate Dornekamp at the line.
Ryan Sidney with a great pass. He really threads the needle here. Dornekamp waiting for the bump. He got it. But that next move, big fella's got to be straight up. Get close to that rim. He takes up space. He does a lot of good things.
But
and
that's
he's
going to take us to a timeout with 2:25 to play. Bell, a terrific first half. He's already got 18 points, and the Eagles have the lead.
2 points over the Irish of Notre Dame.
We will show you all of those Big East scores at halftime. Quick update as Pittsburgh fell today. UConn was defeated. Not been a good day for the visiting teams. That shot was partially blocked by Rice. So the Hurricanes get it back. And Eric Wilkins, who's had a stellar first half with 7 points, will start back just over 2 minutes to play. Franklin had it, lost it, and was fouled. And the foul goes on Johnny Jackson. That'll be his second.
Eagles going to a 2-3 defense that time, but it's very aggressive. Johnny Jackson getting a chance, the 6'6" freshman from Memphis, getting a chance to maybe be that third option in the interim here. We mentioned Andrew Bryant missing the game to be at his mother's funeral in Texas, so a little short-handed are the Eagles. Andrew will be back, but today they're looking for offense.
Well, you talk about offense, he's got the ball in his hands. Troy Bell.
Mr. Offense.
It's a three-pointer, and it's good. So Johnny Jackson's second three-point basket of the year.
Getting a lot of high fives from his teammates. What a...
And the Eagles 6 out of 10 in shooting threes. Their shooting is still at 64%. A terrific shooting half for the Eagles as they're back up by 9 points, matching their biggest lead. And as we take a break, let's take a look at our Conagra Foods Big East standings, and it's Villanova with a win over Connecticut back on top. See Boston College, Miami in the middle of the pack. You want to avoid finishing last if you can. Let's see what the West looks like with the loss by Pittsburgh today. Syracuse wins, so they move a half game ahead of the Panthers. Notre Dame also losing. They are also 7-3. How about Georgetown? That is shocking, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. Here's Bell with the ball on the move. Nice rotation of the ball, and the freshman from Memphis drills it. Look at that. Look at that scoreboard. It's soaking up every bit of it. As you pointed out, only a second bucket of the season.
Number 22, Robert Knight.
Oh, Jones with it outside. Minute 40 to play.
Give the Eagles credit. Darius Rice is 1 for 3. The one is not as significant as that offensive machine only has 3 shots. And that will be talked about in the Hurricane locker room at halftime.
Darius only with 4 points. But Jones has been solid in the first half. He gets himself in double figures. The senior from Miami with 10. The lead is 7.
Boy, he's hard to guard. He posts you up, he hits the 3, and when he puts it on the floor, he can drive left or right. Everybody talks about Darius Rice, but James Jones was their best player through the early part of the year, but Rice has come on hot recently.
Matter of fact, in the month of February, Rice averaging almost 28 points a game.
Oh, he's scary.
But not so far this afternoon. The Eagles have contained him. We're in the final minute. Kick to the corner. How about another three? This time it's off the mark. Dornekamp, though, going up for the rebound, was held on the play.
He tried to go up. It looked like he was trying to catch that one one-handed.
Well, because he couldn't get there because number 21 had a pretty good grip on him, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He said, hey, if I'm not shooting, I got some energy to burn here. Let me just hold on to the big fella. See how good he is bound and one-handed.
Well, not very in this category. He's 0 for 1 today and shoots only 52% from the line. Jones with a rebound. It's about a 9-second difference, shot clock and game clock.
Little altercation down underneath there. James Jones having a hard time seeing daylight, and he's not liking it.
Height gets it. He tried to just kind of float it off the glass. Couldn't do it. He missed it.
That's a freshman mistake. You got to go up there expecting to get hit and hope you can make three, but go to the line for sure. That was like a hot potato. Yeah,
he avoided the foul, but in the process he missed the basket. Final 10 seconds, first half. From Conte Forum, and it's Watson on a drive. Leans back, misses the shot. Racing back the other way is Height at the buzzer. And we have played the first 20 minutes. It has been a terrific first 20 minutes for Troy Bell. His team has 38. He's got 18 of those. Our ESPN Plus halftime report is coming up when we return to Chestnut Hill.
He took 7 shots overall, but he has 18 points. And what's new for the Eagles? The main man delivers.
38-31, Boston College on top. We'll sort out some of those stats. Big 3-point shooting difference, and the Eagles have the
crew today. Jim Burr and Jim Luchansky and Carl Hess. So far, it has not been any controversy or anything. Even looking at the minutia of stats, when you take points in the paint, turnovers, second chance points, fast break points, it's virtually a dead heat. The big difference, as you pointed out, John, that 3-point shooting.
3-point shot. How about that 3-point shot? You talk about long range.
Take that, Troy Bell.
That's Simmons' first basket of the afternoon.
And he is not a 3-point shooter.
No, it's only his 9th of the year. And that time Bell took Wilkins underneath and draws the foul.
Simmons only shooting 25%. Here goes that pass down inside. Look at the body control and deceptive strength of Troy Bell. He loves to take it into you so he can get to that free throw line and get some more.
Yeah, what's new? Just another 20-point game. The foul was on Wilkins, who will pick up number 2. That was the question coming from the official scorers table. Troy Bell's only 4-4 at the line.
I asked Dick Kelly, the SID of Boston College, I said, 18 points at the half. How does that stack up? And it was a very nonchalant, oh, no, you know, he's done 21 in each half at Iowa State, you know. You can get jaded with a guy like that.
You're used to the big numbers, you know what I'm saying? 41-34 is the score. It's off target, put back, and a foul called, and this is going to send Rice to the line.
That looked like Derek Wittenberg's pass in the '83 NCAA championship game. A 42-foot pass to Lorenzo Charles. Rice desperately needs to get his hands on that ball and get in rhythm if the Hurricanes are going to make a run at this one.
And Sidney is the first Eagle in foul trouble. He's got 3. Rice is a good free throw shooter at 72%.
He doesn't shoot enough free throws, period. If I could shoot free throws like that, I'd be trying to get to the basket every time.
But, you know, one of the things there, I think, Bucky, is that he loves to go outside and search for that three-pointer, and he gets away from that body contact.
Yes, he does. He wants to play in a tuxedo, and
yes,
he does it very well.
Oh, he's a terrific player. And he just soon sneak outside rather than go inside and mix it up. Little overplay. Hamilton almost forced to steal. Smith.
Well, 2 California centers out there playing bump and run on the midcourt line. Don't see that very often.
The stop and go move by Bell. Hinnant gets inside, dumps it down as the shot clock was winding down, and Hinnant lost his shoe. We're going to stop play and put that shoe back on.
Shouldn't be able to do that. Not with Miami with the ball.
And that's what Perry Clark is asking Carl Hess on the far side. Beautiful dump
Yes,
down.
it was. Great pass underneath. Drew a crowd, got everybody in that garnet paint.
And there was just 1 second on the shot clock. So that's a break for the Eagles that he gets to take the time now to put that shoe back on.
I'm not getting into promotion here, but the commercial that's gotten a whole lot of attention recently had nothing to do with losing a shoe, did it?
No, it did not. Here's Jones for 3. Bottom of the basket. Jones gets 13 points. That's his first three-pointer, and he has 33 of them on the year. He's a good three-point shooter at 42%. One of the reasons that his coach Perry Clark made the lineup change is, hey, I want him stronger at the end of the game so he doesn't wear himself out playing defense before the last 5 minutes.
Good point, John. Whoa. Dornicamp, who's been unable to score in the paint. Ryan.
We had 2 players who were not involved at this end of the court at all as Smith gets the rebound, because Simmons and Sidney were under the basket for a good 5 or 6 seconds while play was going on. Almost a dramatic reversal as he went up and under that time, but Hinnant did not get the roll. And Miami gets the ball, trailing now by just 4. They were down 7 at half. They've trailed by as many as 9. Rice has the weak side rebound and the putback.
BC better hope he doesn't get going, because he has been missing in action here today, and it's a 2-point game without Darius Rice.
43-41. All of a sudden Miami very much back in the game. Hamilton jumps to help out. Dornicamp another 3. Line drives it off the front of the iron. That's not the shot you want, is it?
Al Skinner's got guys that can do that better than his 7-foot center.
I think you're right. How about this three-pointer? Too strong, and Smith has the rebound, able to stay in bounds along the baseline. So Bell starts back. I might have this guy shoot 3s. On his way in, that will not count. An athletic move, but it will not count, and the foul will go on Hinnant. That'll be his second. Checking into the lineup is Roderick Jawe. 43-41. Just a 2-point difference for Miami.
A Hyundai Sonata. Air conditioning, automatic transmission.
Battle. And they have put the locks on Darius Rice.
And Eric Wilkins had to leave the lineup for Miami after picking up his 3rd foul. Remember, Ryan Sidney is playing with 3 fouls for Boston College. And Dornicamp comes all the way outside, looks for help, and almost turns it over. Njai there defensively all over Bell, and commits the foul. That'll be his first.
Troy Bell facetiously handing the ball to Njai, saying, gee, if you want it that bad, take it. Here comes right back. Now, Njai is inspired. That is a foul right out there on the BC circle.
Here is Bell. Looks for help, throws it away. Simmons deflected it to Jones. They push it ahead. Rice streaking down and missed the dunk. Hurt himself, too. He hurt his left leg. He is down under his own basket.
And they are not stopping play because it's Boston College ball.
And a foul on the way in that time called against Miami. And Rice is trying to get himself together.
It's been that kind of day for Darius Rice. An awesome dunker. He's out here wide open. Really, nobody touched him. He came up lame. I'm not sure if that's embarrassment or a tendon pull. Let's see how quickly he recovers.
And he's still out there. The foul was on Njai, his 2nd in a row. So the Eagles have it. Hinnant with it. 43-41. We played 5 minutes of the second half.
Boy, BC runs those flex cuts, and they find Troy Bell.
This time they find Sidney, who uses the glass to score, and he has been fairly quiet. That's just Ryan's 3rd field goal. He's averaging about 14 a game, but has only 6 this afternoon.
Ishmael Njai is on a mission right now. And he's got his hands and feet all over Troy Bell. And he's forced a couple of errors, but it's almost like he doesn't care if he gets in foul trouble.
You saw the shake of the head by Lewis Hinnant, picking up his second foul. And back into the Miami lineup comes Robert Height. Rice will get a blow. But he is apparently okay because the trainer hasn't come down to check him out or anything, so he is all right.
Number 22.
Yeah, that's really embarrassing on a breakaway to miss.
So you're saying he was just looking for a place to hide?
Yeah.
Height quickly off the bench and in the basket.
He'll be right back.
Height now has 7. Again, it's a 2-point difference. Here's Sidney working on Simmons, finds Bell. Long 3, short. Jawe had it, lost it out of bounds. So Rodriguez could not hang on. The Eagles will get it back.
Boy, you get the feeling BC is playing so well, and you look up at the scoreboard and they're just not making any progress. The Canes are hanging around, and I think Rice is going to be back in there momentarily.
And is that going to be another foul on Njai?
He's going to get my Captain Hook award. How many fouls has he gotten in 3 fouls in?
He's gotten 3 in a row.
Yeah. What's the streak? What's the record?
He won't be. Well, he can only get 5.
Well, he still gets my Captain Hook award, at least for today.
He makes a nice steal there. He had Height ahead, and he almost double dribbled. He does hand it inside to Jawe. He's tied up and lost it to Smith. Wow. Racing in and getting the basket was Hinnant. It will count. The basket is good. The foul is on Simmons.
There's your basic 9, 6'7", 265-pound point guard with a lovely pass up and in. Lewis Hinnant, who's been working so hard defensively all day, takes a shot and a half. Was that Njai again? He's looking for a license number, is Hinnant. Now he's looking for the 3-point play. But they were stuck on 43 for so long. A little spurt now by the Eagles.
That's 7 points for Hinnant. He also has 4 assists, and they have a little bit of breathing room. Now up by 5 as Paolo will check into the lineup. Paolo Coelho checks in, and back is Darius Rice as well.
Eagles extending the defense again. They got a lot of turnovers early with this, and then they went away from it.
This is Coelho to Jones.
Coelho, good 3-point shooter, not as quick as the cadre of Hurricane guards.
Here's Njai now. He's out there with Height, Coelho, Jones, and Rice right now for Miami. Rice comes to a jump stop and drew the foul. Is it on Dornekamp or is it on Smith?
Rice getting assertive now, and he's been much more aggressive in the latter part of the season. He's not just taking the shot when it's wide open. He's trying to create something. And again, when you're that good a free throw shooter, 72%, you need to go to the line more.
The foul was on Dornekamp, not Smith. Miami keeps it. They had a fresh clock. Rice from the side, bending short. Tipped out of bounds. Touched last by either Njai or Jones. Doesn't matter. It's going to be BC basketball.
Boy, you just keep waiting for the Hurricanes to put together a little offensive run here and really make this one interesting. 5 points now. Just a little over 13 minutes to go.
Neither team has been up by double figures this afternoon. You either look for that or maybe an explosion by Troy Bell where they can't open it up to double figures. And there's part of that explosion right there. Troy Bell has 24 points, 5 3-pointers.
7 times this season, Troy Bell has been 18 or more at halftime. He just took a little rest. He's back.
Njai, good inside feed. Nice reversal basket by Jones. And James has 15 points.
We've been a little hard on Njai with his rapid fouling, but he's played a very nice floor game with the steals and assists.
And Troy Bell looking for some help because his left shoe is untied. Bell now 5 of 8 3-pointers, 7 of 10 in the game. 7 3-pointers for Boston College in all, and that's the reason they are up by 6.
Coelho now trying to guard Bell.
Dornekamp is outside with Rice. Bell all alone for another three. No problem. That's his sixth. 27 points for Troy Bell, coming off a 33-point game against Providence.
And coming off a terrific screen.
Nice drive that time by Njai. And that'll be a foul on Dornekamp as Njai gets his first field goal.
6'6" slasher from the Ivory Coast. Hasn't even hit a three this year. He's 0 for 2. No question about what's on his mind. He wants to get on the glass and in the paint. Completes the traditional three-point play and takes us to a timeout. 54-48. Less than 12 remaining.
The male can often find himself in precarious situations.
It is funny.
So how many girls have you know? Seriously? Me too.
Okay. Great.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
Thornton and Murray. This combination's a lock. Joe Thornton. Captain. Playmaker. Goal scorer. Nuts in. Get out of here. Glenn Murray. Second time's a charm for this two-time Bruin, because he buries every pass he gets, and they're usually from jump. Together, they're a great team on a great team. Saturday, the Bruins face the Lightning in Tampa Bay. Coverage begins at 7 only on NESN.
Nothing compares to the passion, intensity, and excitement of college basketball on ESPN. Primetime players and rising young stars. Wow, what a move. Backdoor jams. And alley-oop slams. Dive on the floor. Jump in the stands, whatever it takes. The nation's best look to jump on the road to the championship on ESPN and ESPN2.
College has 54 points, and Troy Bell has 27 of them, so he's got half the total. You've got a good shooter. You got to get him open, get him the ball, right?
Paulo Coelho, watch number 2, Troy Bell, just keep rubbing Coelho off, using his own man and using his teammates to get free. Unbelievable. He is 6 for 9 from 3, a very efficient 8 for 11 from the floor, a masterful piece of offensive maneuvering. He never forces. He uses his screens well. What a terrific player.
It's been terrific shooting by the Eagles, 56%, negating some of the inside game that for the most part has belonged to Miami.
I praised the flex earlier. That was just what we call Eastern Moxie by a guy from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who used his teammates and the Miami players to just keep rubbing and get free. Uh-oh.
A bump. Jones went down. So did Smith. It's 2 points for Smith. He has 11.
That's a good no call, but both of them have headaches.
Coelho inside. Height for 3. That's too strong. A rebound brought out of there by Watson on the break. Sidney down the court to the left hand, bending home.
Miami's throwing up those 3, John. They got 17 points in transition and another 20 in the low post. BC has not been able to handle that inside game, but because BC's shooting 56%, they're still hanging on.
Jones misses the 3. It's the biggest lead of the afternoon. A 13-5 run sparked by the shooting of Bell, and the first double-digit lead of the day, 58-48.
At the half, both teams had more turnovers than assists, and this game hasn't gotten any prettier in the second half.
Ryan Sidney now. Finds Watson finally because he couldn't get it to Bell. Njai was all over him. 3 Hurricanes set to return to the Miami lineup, and they carried that one. Turned it over. So as Hamilton checks back in along with Wilkins and also Simmons, it's turnover number 13 for Boston College. It'll give Miami a chance at the 10:31 mark to cut into a double-digit lead.
Jermaine Watson has been tremendous coming off that bench and starting for a personnel-thin Al Skinner. And Skinner not happy with that call. You don't see that
no.
Tom called very often.
You know, Bucky, back when you and I played, every dribble would have been called palming.
Yeah. Yep.
Today, that's not the case as Smith gets the rebound.
And it's a tremendous advantage for these great ball handlers. I mean, they can just, it's almost like they've got Velcro on their hand, making that play right at the end.
Smith from the foul line, bending off, and the rebound to Hamilton.
Boy, a lot of bodies on the floor.
And no calls.
There's ice under here, so, you know, they're quick therapeutic effort when you hit the deck. Forrest Gould. Another one.
And that was Watson hitting the deck. They get it inside to Hamilton, tries to make an extra pass. Somehow they managed to keep possession, shots like at 15. And Leonard Hamilton says, whoa, let's take a 30-second timeout, but that's going to lead to a full timeout as Perry Clark called the time. Big East will play again. Matter of fact, that's coming up, one of the 5 remaining regular season games for Boston College. Wednesday, they're at Virginia Tech. And they'll play St. John's here. On the road on the 1st at Miami. And then against Villanova and UConn to close the regular season, and then hopefully headed to Madison Square Garden.
Well, they only have one more road game, and that's at Miami. They just came through a really tough stretch where they played on the road at Providence, and gosh, 4 out of 5 on the road. Let me get that for sure. At Connecticut, we did that one with Storrs, was awesome.
And they were at
St.
Providence.
John's, at Rutgers, at Providence. So they've got the toughest road part behind them. 4 out of 5 finishing at home. And I like to make this appeal to, and the guys in the Big East are great, but I just hate that they drop teams from not going to the big party at the end of the year. And I know that was meant for all this expansion with 14 teams, but there's a very good chance that 2 original franchises, Georgetown and Providence, will be the 2 this year that might not get to participate in the tournament. I don't know how you do it, guys, but please, I think it's important for all the players to get to that year-end party that celebrates Big East basketball.
Whoops, let's do it again here.
We're going to do it till we get it right.
Well, Jim Bird's going to make sure it's done right. He had a couple of words to say because Jermaine Watson picking up his first foul. 6-team foul on Boston College. We've had 16 fouls both ways, so we will be shooting some foul shots in the last half of this second half of basketball. 10-point lead for the Eagles. Hurricanes have the ball. Simmons. Hamilton makes the catch, misses the shot. Jones got it back and was fouled.
Gary Hamilton, the 6'9", 240-pound freshman, has had many chances in there. Just can't get the ball to go down. That pass was a little low, but he just can't finish here. But James Jones comes in like a truck, picking up that offensive rebound. Jones, 6'8", 225-pounder from Miami, loves to get to that board, and he's been a little in love with that three-point shot throughout the middle of the season. He's shooting 42% from 3, but Perry Clark really needs him down on that glass.
And of course, the real problem with this result, not the 2 free throws by Jones, but the fact that it was the 4th foul on Ryan Sidney, and he had to sit down. So Sidney, with 8 points, 4 assists, is on the bench for Boston College.
Jermaine Watson, very important role now, playing the point for the Eagles.
Gets it to Bell. Now Jackson. Quick 3-pointer. A little short. Rebound handled by Darius Rice. Leads it ahead to Wilkins. He'll drive and have it stripped away, and a foul called. Foul's going to go on Troy Bell. That'll be his second.
Eric Wilkins, who's doing a terrific job, as good as can be done on Troy Bell defensively. 6'4" freshman from Oak Hill Academy and out of New Jersey. And you just can't call a foul on Troy Bell in this building without a response.
We're in the bonus now both ways. Both teams shooting 1 and 1. And missing the front end is Wilkins. Smith gets it and put it behind his back. And now they're going to say that he was in the act of shooting. It's a 2-shot foul, not a 1 and 1.
I don't care. That behind the back dribble.
You liked
Craig
it
Smith
anyway, right?
ought to still make SportsCenter. Yeah. I mean, he's so wide. How do you do that?
And in truth, in thinking back to the call that was made, the official made the call that he was on the way up. So it should be 2 shots for Wilkins.
I don't think Troy Bell would have fouled him if he didn't think it was going to be a layup anyway. Make him go to the line and make 2.
And of course, the Eagle fans, about 8,000 in the building, they're not happy. Well, Wilkins makes 1 out of 2. His first points in the second half. Eagles get it back with a 7-point lead.
Al Skinner taking the ball out of Troy Bell's hands, giving it to Jermaine Watson.
And Hamilton can't believe that quick foul. That's his second. It'll put Smith on the line, a 62% shooter, and Craig will get his first chance to see what else is happening. You can see now Georgetown with a 12-point lead in the second half, and West Virginia is leading Rutgers. The RAC, a tough place to win, and that's an important game for the Mountaineers. Marquette still leading Louisville, that game in the second half.
Louisville goes out to St. Louis, the last place team in the conference. Everybody talking about this matchup with Marquette, and what happens? St. Louis beat them. That's college hoops. That's great
college hoops this year, that's for sure. 7-point difference. Miami is not going to disappear. Fell down by 10. Now Jones against Smith. Hamilton at the foul line. Jones, a touch foul there. That's on Smith.
It appears Perry Clark emphasizing what we talked about before, and that is Miami has been very successful offensively down in the paint, outscoring the Eagles in the second half here by a decided margin in points in the paint. And since that three's not going for the Hurricane, they're really pounding that ball inside, and the fouls are mounting.
3 in a row at the line for Jones. He's got 17 points. Got 18 points. Make it 19 points.
5-point difference.
6 rebounds.
8 minutes to go. We got one. Troy Bell takes the ball back over.
Get some help from Jones because Dornicamp really not a threat, as he's proven from outside. Jackson looks to Smith. Frees himself along the baseline and powers it up.
The bus. He leaned just a little bit on the defender, got him on his heels, and then stuck it right up his nose. What a smart player.
He has 13 points. Jones tried to feed it underneath. Hamilton wound up with it, but that's an offensive foul on Gary Hamilton.
Gary Hamilton learning his lessons today. What a struggle. Perry Clark shaking his head, trying to keep everybody's head up. Hamilton struggling. Watch this. Watch him lead. Up.
I love the ultimate drive of the game.
Lewis Hennett has a reputation of a catch-and-shoot guy, but with the pass off Greg Smith in the break, he makes a tough shot, finishes with 3. Yeah. Before he checks his injuries, he wants to make sure the ball went down, and it did. An assist there for the big fella, Craig Smith. Lewis Hennett, as we point out, has been a catch-and-shoot guy, but he's been everything today. 7 points, 4 assists, coming up big.
Now Smith will handle the inbounds. We see the full pressure from Miami. The Hurricanes are down by 7.
When it gets tight, Al Skinner puts the ball in Troy Bell's hand, and now he goes rubbing off his man, trying to get free.
Yeah, just bounced off his foot, went out of bounds. He was claiming, Watson was, that it went off the defender. It did not, according to the officials, so Miami will have it.
BC has been efficient in the second half. They had 10 turnovers at the half, only 3 in the second half, but they have 18 assists on their 23 field goals. That's an amazing stat.
Wilkins from outside. Smith has the rebound.
Boy, that was a good-looking shot by Wilkins. Nice rotation. Up, over, strong.
And the Eagles continue to shoot in the high 50s, and they have owned the battle of three-pointers pretty much, and that's one of the differences in this game. They stand up by 7. Quick turnaround, no good. Dornekamp got the rebound, gets it to Smith, knocked out of bounds, no foul. The Eagle fans wanted a foul called there. Boston College will keep the basketball as Hinnant returns to the lineup.
The 7-footer Dornekamp right there, instead of powering it up like most big men, tries to make an interior pass, close quarters, almost a turnover.
Here's Bell along the baseline. His jumper too strong. It's his own rebound. Right back up with it. It's the deck and a foul called. Right up with Jones and Bell tangled up. And the foul's going to be on Jones. It'll be the first for him, and it'll send Bell back to the line again where he is only 5 for 5.
And Bell right now doubled over before he's going to that free throw line for one of those painful injuries that we don't talk much about.
The comparison between two greats here at Boston College. And Dana Barros, Troy Bell.
Barros' record all the way back to 1989. That's how long it stood, with a lot of fine offensive players coming through here for the Eagles.
And of course the addition of the three-point shot means that there are a lot more 1,000-point scorers at schools now than there used to be, right?
You betcha.
28 points for Bell. He is 6 of 6 at the line.
I think it's been good for the game.
Oh, I do too. I'm not complaining about it.
No, I know, but you hear purists say, yeah, well, I would like to see the international rule. I think another 9 inches and really standardize the game around the globe, because it's a international game already, would be a wise move.
Back to a 9-point game. What about the possibility that the Big East might do away with divisions next year and go with a full 14-team league?
Well, you know, it would certainly cut down on their out-of-conference schedule. Oh, Darius Rice just having a heck of a day. Missing dunks, air balls. He is 2 for 8. Significantly, just the fact that we're just a little over 6 minutes and he's only had 8 shots. But defensive job by the Eagles has been tremendous. It's been a number of people.
Well, this is the kind of thing that happened to Darius Rice earlier this year when they lost at West Virginia. He and Jones were both frustrated the entire game by that Mountaineer defense, and the result was Mountaineers won. Bell from outside. Jones the rebound.
That one really didn't look good coming out of his hands. Not a good rotation.
He was not comfortable with that shot, was he?
Looked like a knuckler coming out of there. I think it slipped.
Even though it was a wide open look for him.
Yeah, maybe he was lonely.
Yeah. He couldn't feel any body contact. Njai. This is Simmons with a 3. Oh, he's got his second. Doesn't shoot or make very many. He's only made 10 now all year long, and he's made 2 in this game.
Yeah, 25% coming in, but both of them were pure. Boy, they came at the right time for Perry Clark. 6 points.
Yeah, the three-pointer will turn it around in a hurry. We still got plenty of time left. Bell hammered by Rice.
A little frustration there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's going to be the 3rd on Darius Rice. But he is still the kind of player that can get hot and turn a game around.
Oh, boy, he's a scoring machine when he's right. Going left, Troy Bell up. Rice trying to help. Comes up with elbow instead of leather.
And a frustrating, as you said, day for him so far. He was averaging over 27 coming in the last 4 games, but just 8 this afternoon. And this guy is money at the free throw line, isn't he? 30 points for Bell.
He's money all over the place, John. What a great offensive player he is. Efficiency, that's what I like. We've all seen guys come through to put up a lot of shots and score a lot of points, but man, his efficiency is just amazing. $14 shots, 30 points. Amen.
First miss at the line. He's now 8 of 9 and settles with 30 points. A 7-point lead for his club, the Eagles of Boston College. Simmons with good penetration, but no help.
Nice job sealing the lane that time.
That 3 is short, and the rebound by Hinnant. He'll come back. Darius Rice has gone to the bench. Maybe Perry Clark thinking a couple of minutes of rest, and he'll be ready for the final 4-minute push or so. Smith kicks it down the court. Height's going to let it go out of bounds because it was going to be Miami ball.
I was impressed to see Craig Smith dive for that thing.
Here comes Darius Rice. Simmons back to the Miami bench. 4:28 to play.
Perry Clark said, Darius, we didn't bring you from Jackson, Mississippi to score 8 points. I want you to get that ball, son, and get us back in this game and get us out of here with a W.
Well, one thing he talked about, the fact that Rice had been more patient in the offense, had not forced anything because he knew he would get his shots. He gets it down low, fade away against Smith, rattles out. It's been that kind of afternoon. Good scramble by Hamilton, and Smith comes up with it. It's a 1-on-2.
Careful, big fella. Oh, does he love to dribble the basketball.
And he gets it out of trouble. The Eagles get it, and a round of applause for their sparkling freshman, Craig Smith.
Yeah, he wants to be a Maserati, but unfortunately, he's built like a bus.
He did go to Worcester Academy. He's from Los Angeles. Shot clock at 6. Bell. No place to go. Shot clock at 2. That's a three-pointer on the way. And good by Hinnant.
Even Hinnant's laughing, John.
He beat the shot clock, beat the odds, used the backboard.
What a dagger. What a dagger for the defense. To stay on defense that long, do everything right, and the guy bank one in on you as time expires.
Three-pointer for Boston College. Hello, where's this going to wind up? Oh, it's in.
Even Lewis said it. We won't see it here, but he just backpedaled, grinning. Gotcha.
Well, their shooting percentage has been dynamite the entire afternoon. They're shooting 56% from outside the three-point line and 52% inside the line. So they've just been constantly bucky between 55, 60% most of the game, and that's why they're back to their biggest lead. 10-point difference, 3:31 to play.
And he put it up over Darius Rice, so there was some plausible reason why that ball was so high and so long, but it snuggled nicely right into the nylon.
Just beating the clock, which was about to go off, and so the Eagles trying to go 6-5 in conference play and look for win number 13. Miami obviously coming in at 3-6, knowing that they really needed to run the table and do some damage in the tournament to get back to postseason. But right now, the Eagles have the advantage.
And from here, the Hurricanes on Monday night go to Providence. So no rest for the weary.
Well, earlier in the year, they had a road trip that started at West Virginia and then went to UConn, where they lost in overtime, and then to Seton Hall, where they lost. And that's one of the disadvantages for Miami. Sometimes, Bucky, their road trips are a lot longer than some of the other teams in the conference. Rice somehow got it to go after banging heads with a couple of Eagle bodies, and he does reach double figures now with 10.
Boy, after so many good looks where it didn't go down, he shot that one up blind. It was like a full eclipse over it.
Here's Bell. A 30-point effort for him this afternoon.
Tough man right now for the Hurricanes.
Remember, Sidney's been out for quite a while with 4 fouls. Bell working against Wilkins.
8 points, 3 minutes.
Dornicamp bluffs the shot. He missed a couple from that area. Bell with a jumper deflected by Jones, and Dornicamp tried to go inside and get the rebound, but he's going to pick up his 4th foul.
Ooh, that's painful for BC. He's stopping the clock and giving the Hurricanes a chance to catch up. Well, the clock's not moving.
2:49 to play. Sidney is going to return, and so is Simmons. Sidney for BC and Simmons for Miami. As Height, who was in there trying to get the rebound, they're going to chase him out of there. He was trying to get to the line. It's going to be Hamilton instead.
Guess what? Height's an 88% free throw shooter. Hamilton is 35. Nice move, Perry.
So far, he is 1 for 4, a 25% free throw shooter in this game.
Oh, is that painful? Get down to those free throws. Miami shooting 72% from the foul line coming in. They need them now.
Don't get either one. Smith gets the rebound. 66-58 Eagle basketball. 2:40 to go.
BC would like to run a little clock right now.
Smith, he's not going to run any clock. He takes the shot. Rice has the rebound. So again, Miami. Rice finds Wilkins. Rice, long three. Rebound snatched out of there by Dornekamp. Here's Troy Bell. The senior will slow it down.
Yeah, he will. They're not going to go east-west and forget about scoring, but
nice drive, missed the shot. Height has the rebound for Miami. Back come the Hurricanes again, but Miami now has to cash in on some of these offensive possessions like that. Hamilton with 7.
That should have been a slam dunk.
Well, it's a career high for him.
Yeah,
for 7 points.
Yeah, but he's a little timid in there. The free throws and some of the missed opportunities.
Well, I think one of the problems he had early in the game was just catching the ball. So he wants to make sure he squeezes it before he does anything. Good overplay and scrambling for the loose ball, trying to get timeout, and they do.
Terrific.
Well, not for lack of effort by Hamilton.
Great effort. I mean, he was on his hands and knees. You don't see many big men, freshmen especially, just give it up like that. Very impressive. He's just lacking in confidence.
Right now, a 2-possession game at 66-60. But as I said, Miami needs to cash in on these opportunities. And it's been some good shooting most of this game by the Eagles of Boston College, which will bring us to our Shooting the Rock. It's brought to you by Rolling Rock. Grab a rock. There it is. It's been about that 55% most of the afternoon. Miami, not much in three-point shooting, but Troy Bell by himself has done a terrific job. BC has 9 3-pointers. And Miami has only 1 timeout remaining. Coelho checks back in the lineup for the Canes. He's a good 3-point shooter. Simmons has 2 threes. Not that time. The foul is either going to be on Jones or Rice. And it's going to be on Rice. And that'll be 4 on Darius Rice.
Hurricanes don't need hurried 3-point shots right now. I'd go down to the 2 franchise players. Rice, even though he hasn't had a good day, in Jones, and the fact that BC is small and the Hurricanes have really done well in the paint, especially in this second half. And certainly Simmons, a 25% three-point shooter, should not be launching up quick threes. There's plenty of time with a 6-point game.
Well, Ryan Sidney is not an especially good foul shooter, as he proved on his first attempt. He's shooting 45%.
He needs a hypnotist. He's a great athlete. I think maybe sometime they had headbands on too tight, as this guy can be at the top of the mountain, or you can wonder what part of Mars he's from. He's so talented. He's just so up and down.
Well, that's been the story of the Eagle team this year. Very up and down. They'll play 1 good half and 1 bad half, or they'll have a good 10-minute stretch and then disappear. But just over a minute. Nice steal by Sidney. He's not going to miss from there.
That's called the Ann Arbor, Michigan flush. Another guy like Troy Bell, who was close to University of Minnesota. Ryan Sidney from Ann Arbor, not really pleased that the Wolverines didn't pick him up. Very happy here in Chestnut Hill.
Ryan Sidney in double figures with 10. The lead is 8. We're in the final minute.
The male can often find himself in precarious situations.
It is funny.
So how many girls have you know? Seriously? Me too.
Okay. Great.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
There is a place where the rest of the world's sports sedans can be found. We call it a rear view mirror. The BMW 3 Series, the ultimate driving machine.
Lease a 3 Series now for $299 a month, only through March 4th.
Teams are hitting the boards because NESN U is now in session. And these guys are taking each other to school. It's an A-10 battle as Rhode Island takes on Temple. Wednesday at 10:30, only on NESN. NESN U is now in session. Stay tuned. You're sure to get a passing grade. Iowa State takes on Kansas Sunday at 2, only on NESN.
Today's Big East game is being brought to you by BMW. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center. Nightfall arriving in Boston. We're at Chestnut Hill, and the Eagles looking for a win here on the Heights. And how about the steal and the finish by Ryan Sidney?
With a flair for the dramatic. A terrific defender. He makes the most of his moment in the sun. He started out trying to put the hex on Darius Rice. Did a terrific job. A number of people have had that opportunity today, and they've all done pretty well. And Darius has not had a good day. That's where it should go.
Jones with a miss gets his own putback as he tips it in, and he has a 21-point game. Rice does have a double-double, 10 rebounds to go with his 10 points, but certainly far below his average. Dangerous pass and a foul called on Miami. That'll go on Simmons. Michael will pick up his fourth.
How did Ryan Sidney come out of there with the ball? I mean, he is tenacious. A great leaper, probably as good a rebounder at 6'2" as there is in the country. He used all the hops that time. Watch this. To say that ball was contested would be an understatement. However, this is the guy that Miami wants at the free throw line.
Well, now, people for BC at the line who are not named Troy Bell are 2 for 6. Sidney's just 1 for 3.
45% coming into this game from the foul line. Amazing.
Good on those 2 strokes.
Yeah.
That's a dozen for Ryan Sidney.
And they needed him too. Miami's not finished.
8-point lead. Well, Rice, he'll shoot that one. That's a long 3, and it's good. And that's the last timeout, as Darius Rice gets his first 3-pointer of the afternoon, goes to 13, and makes it a 2-possession game with 31.7 to go.
I think, well, watch this now. We're talking way outside. Nothing but net. I thought James Jones might have had his hand on the cylinder or negated it. He just pulled it down.
He was sent to guide it home, but it wasn't necessary because it rattled in. And you see, we're in the double bonus as far as fouls. BC still has plenty of timeouts. Miami is finished. They have no timeouts remaining and only 31.7 left on the clock.
Ryan Sidney is still in the game for BC, but you can bet the foul priority for the Hurricanes is to foul him immediately if he touches the ball. He is the best percentage for them on the floor. Full court pressure now by the Hurricanes. I can't believe it. Oh.
Well, they made 3 passes, and they wind up fouling Bell. How about that?
Oh, my.
So you're saying as soon as Sidney touches it, you foul him, right?
I can't believe he was the first or second option to catch a pass at 45%. That's a turnover waiting to happen, even though he hit the last 2. I mean, they just played right into Miami's hands, and they didn't capitalize. And now, money is at the line.
8 of 9 so far. Coming off a season-high 33 points. As he set the school scoring record against Providence. Now at 31.
Number 13, Paulo Coelho replaces Eric Wilkins from Miami.
Coelho back in the lineup for Miami. They'll try to get it into the 3-point shooter's hands as the lead is going to go to 7.
Three possession game. There he is.
Rice for three. That's too strong. Possession error will give it to Boston College. And the final score, Louisville comes back to beat number 11 Marquette by 3. So the Cardinals survive.
They lose at St. Louis, and they broke that long winning streak to the last place team in the league and come back and beat Marquette in Milwaukee. And the Cardinals are for real. That is a tough assignment. They just handled Wake Forest out there. Marquette's very, very good. Just like maybe 19 or 20 other teams.
Yeah, you pick one, huh?
Yeah, pick one.
It would be like predicting who's going to win the Big East Championship in New York City. There's no way you can do that.
But remember, the Final Four is April 5th, and the championship game is April 7th. Boy, we got a lot of hoops between now and then.
Yes, we do. Shoot those foul shots. That's his second consecutive 33-point game. And matches his season high. He'll have a chance to go past it right now as he tries to make it 12 of 13 at the free throw line.
But he makes his team better, not just the points.
34 for Troy Bell. His career best is 42. And you mentioned that at Iowa State when he had 21 in the first half, 21 in the second. Here comes Smith. He was fairly gentle. 15 for him, and this is the biggest lead of the afternoon, and that's the way it's going to end at 76-65. Terrific shooting performance by the Boston College Eagles here this afternoon.
It really was. People are going to say, oh, 11-point game. This was no 11-point game. It only got to 11 on that last play. Miami still has to go to Providence. They're a dangerous team. They need to get winning quick.
76-65 the final. This has been a presentation of ESPN+. So long.